Right now on Up with KREM, mass testing centers are reopening today in Spokane. Our Tim Pham is live at one of those testing sites right now.
In 2 hours, the mass testing site here at Spokane Falls Community College will open up. I'm live with the director of this new testing site coming up on the show.
Plus, today is the Washington vaccine deadline. Thousands of workers have until the end of the day to show proof of vaccination or face losing their job.
And the sun, still about 45 minutes from rising. That gives us more time to cool down, but we are still talking a warm day across the inland Northwest.
Up with KREM begins now.
Good morning and thanks for joining us on Up with KREM. I'm Channing Curtis. Well, today is the day. No vaccines means no job for thousands of Washington workers. And with the spike in COVID-19 cases, state leaders are reopening COVID testing sites today in Spokane. So right now we have team coverage. Our team Tim Pham is live this morning at one of those testing sites at Spokane Falls Community College. Nicole Hernandez is following vaccination numbers among our state workers as well as hospital and school staff members. But first up, Jeremy Legou is in the Outdoor Weather Center. So Jeremy, we're going to have some pretty nice weather to start the week off.
Yeah, it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be the perfect time to get out and enjoy everything. Yesterday, I went mountain bike riding with my guy, Mark Hanrahan. Great guy. We drove through, we went up to Mount Spokane and drove through Green Bluff on the way back. Mayhem, cars everywhere, people trying to get out and about. Today would be a good day to head up there, kind of maybe make your way to some of those locations. And the reason is it's going to be beautiful. Now, not everything's open. You can't get all those famous pumpkin donuts, but there are still spots you can go visit if you have some time. And today is going to be the day, even to just get outside, maybe go for a walk, a hike, Riverfront Park, head to the bluff. It's right here in town. Go to Manitou, take in some of the changing leaves around town. Because we go from near 40 this morning. It is not raining in Coeur d'Alene. It keeps showing up, but I'm telling you it's not, because we're clear. We're clear across the inland Northwest. It is a beautiful start to the day. Got clear skies in the forecast, but let's get to what's happening later on. What's happening later on is sunshine really starts bumping up our temperatures. Got some southerly advection. We've got all the ingredients we need to get nice and warm later on this afternoon. And it looks like tomorrow brings about a similar kind of warmth. So what does that mean for you? It means temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 60s, not just for us here in Spokane, but across the entire inland Northwest. Just about everybody is going to be between about 66 and 68 degrees later on this afternoon. It is going to be gorgeous. It's a beautiful start to the week, but we do have a shift in our weather pattern arriving in the next couple of days. So we go from warm and sunny today, warm and sunny tomorrow, to still rather warm as we get into the day on Wednesday. But we also have that chance of showers returning to the forecast. That's going to bring about a bit of a shift in our weather pattern as we head into the second half of the week. But keep in mind, our average high temperature on a day like today, or actually for today, is quite a bit cooler than where we are. That's typically in the upper 50s, and we're in the upper 60s.
All right, thanks, Jeremy. Now, with the mandate on large events from Governor Jay Inslee, testing in Washington state could ramp up as more people will be required to show proof of a negative COVID-19 test. Tim Pham is live this morning at Spokane Falls Community College, and this is actually where the new mass testing site is opening today. So, Tim, can you tell us what people need to know if they want to come out and get a test today?
Hey, good morning, Channing. Yeah, that's right. There are a lot of people expected to show up to this testing site. This, of course, going to be one of the major testing sites here in our region. This after a testing site closed earlier this year. So this morning we're joined with Daniel Pulsier with Discovery Health. Discovery Health, the operator of the mass testing site here in Spokane. Good morning. Thanks for being with us.
Good morning. No problem.
Daniel, so tell us a little bit about why this testing center is opening back up in Spokane. I know the last one closed earlier this year. Why is this one opening back up?
Yeah, with the new, well, not new anymore, but with the Delta variant, we've seen a huge increase in positivity rates. Spokane Regional Health District and the State Department of Health identified this area as one that needed additional testing capability in order to identify cases early and make sure that people are staying safe.
Sure. So are you all expecting hundreds of people to show up at this testing site daily? Because I know demand, it's been hard to find a test in Spokane County, really across the state.
Yeah, absolutely. We do think that there's going to be really high volume here. We're not 100% at this point. Our scheduling tool is open. I haven't looked at the numbers this morning, but we're building capacity such that we can test 450 to 500 people per day. We are putting in a second site as well over in Spokane Valley, though that site isn't set yet, so we're not exactly sure where it's going to be.
Okay, explain what people need to know if they want to schedule an appointment. Do they need an appointment? And then how will this flow work here at Spokane Falls Community College?
Yeah, it's super easy. They can go to discoveryhealthmd.com/SFCC. That'll take them to the scheduling tool. They can book an appointment there. They can input their insurance information there. And if they need to reschedule, they can do that there. So super easy. If they don't schedule, that's fine. They can still show up. We do encourage people to schedule an appointment. That helps us for a variety of reasons. But once they're here, they're just going to pull into this area. The entrance is over that way. You can't see it on camera, but super easy to find. We're going to have a lot of signage out, and they'll just pull straight through. If they have insurance information, they should put that in as they register. If they can't figure that out, they can bring it on site. We'll help them put it in. If they don't have insurance information, they can still show up and we'll get them tested.
Okay, and then tell us about the type of test. It's a PCR test, but this is not the rapid kind that you'll get an instant result.
That's correct.
You'll get your results at least a day or so after?
We're looking for a 48 to 72 hour timeline. It could be faster than that, but we want people to prepare for the longer timeline, just in case. We know that labs are backed up with the increased positivity rates, lots of testing happening. This is a lab-based PCR. It's going to be the most accurate result. And we'll get those turned around pretty quickly, as quickly as we can.
And I know you all were also advertising jobs. You're hiring for several positions, and that'll be crucial, especially if demand picks up. Talk a little bit about the jobs that are still open.
Yeah, we still have a few jobs open. We're looking for good site leads or site managers. Those are going to be people who are going to manage the site on a day-to-day basis. And if we decide to expand to 7 days a week, we may also need a site lead, because obviously one site manager can't be here every day. So those are great. We also need administrators. That's what we call the people who check people in. They help make sure that traffic is flowing right and that people have all their information in, put labels on tubes, that sort of thing. And then we need sample collection staff as well. Those are certified medical assistants and or above with medical certification that can do nasal swabs and do those collections.
Great. Well, Daniel, stick around. We have more from Daniel coming up on our 7 o'clock show on the CW22. But in the meantime, we do want to get to Nicole Hernandez. She's taking a deeper look at the vaccine mandate that is today. She's looking into the data in the state. So we'll go ahead and send it over to Nicole with a closer look at that data.
Yeah, good morning, Tim. So right now I'm live outside of the Spokane VA. As of last week, the Spokane VA had the lowest vaccination rate in the state of Washington. So let's take a look here at some of the numbers that we're seeing. So as of last Monday, almost 92% of our 60,000 employees here in Washington state verified that they had been vaccinated or had been approved for an exemption. That means nearly 5,000 had a week to get their vaccines, and now they have until the end of the day. The Department of Veterans Affairs here in Spokane reported only 73% of their staff vaccinated. Last week, the Washington State Patrol reported that about 90% of their staff was vaccinated. The Department of Corrections is reported about 93%. The facility in the Airway Heights reported 90%. We talked to the department last Friday. They said they were expecting more verifications to come in before today's deadline.
People are still turning in cards. Some people are waiting to the last minute to turn those cards in. So we're hopeful with those numbers. I expect more to come in today, over the weekend, and Monday.
So the numbers are promising. The vast majority of people here, workers in Washington state, do look like they are getting vaccinated at this point. But this week, we will learn more about exactly how many people were fully vaccinated and how many asked for exemptions. So an update on the data, as well as how all of these agencies are going to be handling staffing shortages. Live in Spokane, I'm Nicole Hernandez.
our team is committed to bringing you more when it comes to both the vaccine mandate and also the mass testing site opening up here in Spokane County. We will have much more coming up in our next half hour on the CW22 at 7, so be sure to join us for more continued team coverage on the CW22. But for now, I'll go ahead and send it back to you in the studio. Channing?
It's time now for your morning rush. More news in less time. The Spokane Police Department is investigating 3 shootings that happened in less than 24 hours over the weekend. One of those was a drive-by shooting near North Fisk Street. Another was a fatal shooting on West Riverside in downtown Spokane. The police department is asking anyone with information to contact Crime Check at 456-2233. Well, 30 years ago, a firestorm ripped through Spokane. Now, our area had gone without rain for 40 days. Winds knocked down power lines and sparked dozens of fires. Every firefighting resource in Spokane County was called in to help with Firestorm 91. And we're still seeing the impact of those fires today. Because of them, new policies are now in effect.
After those big fires, the building codes change as well.
The State Mobilization Act for the state of Washington is now in place.
Both fire chiefs we spoke with say we are more advanced and organized with our firefighting now. And they also agree that fire conditions have become worse over the last 3 decades. A new survey named Idaho the least safe state when it comes to COVID-19. The survey was done by WalletHub, and they ranked Idaho last, meaning worst in the U.S. They ranked Idaho 48th in positive testing rates and 47th in highest hospitalization rates. Results were based on COVID transmissions, positive testing, vaccination rates, hospitalizations, and deaths. And the U.S. is ending travel restrictions for vaccinated visitors next month. Starting November 8th, foreign travelers will be allowed to visit the U.S., but only with proof of a COVID vaccine and a negative COVID test. According to the White House, this includes visitors flying to the U.S. and crossing land borders. Well, are you having trouble finding all of those items on your grocery list? You're not alone, and you can blame it on supply chain problems. Chicken, coffee, and even diapers are on the short supply list. Also tough to find right now, toilet paper. Record level congestion at the nation's busiest ports, along with the shortage of truck drivers and global pandemic related restrictions, is making the movement of goods very difficult. That's your morning rush. More news in less time. Let us know what's happening in your neighborhood by using the hashtag #UpWithKREM on social media.
And stick around. Coming up after the break, we're talking everything you need to know in the world of weather. First thing, we sit about 30 minutes away from official sunrise, so things are going to get brighter, but we're getting cooler before the sun comes up.